Hey guys, welcome back to another one of my videos. Now, I was going to film a paranormal experience video, but then I looked at the time and it's almost 2 in the morning and I'm also home alone, so that's not gonna go well since I also have class tomorrow, so I kind of need to sleep soon. I decided against the paranormal experience video because I know after that I probably won't be able to sleep. I decided to do a little fun video for today and talk about my experiences meeting a few celebrities. The ones that I'm going to talk about are Niall Horan, Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, and Jacksepticeye, who is a gamer. So I will start with Niall. I was going to the MMVAs with one of my best friends. I think it was last year. Oh my god, I actually can't remember if it was 2016 or 2017. Okay, no, it was it was last year. Anyways, we were going to the MMVAs, and I usually pull an all-nighter to get in front of the line for the red carpet so you can meet celebrities there and everything. I've been doing it for a few years now. This year, the security was really bad. They did not know what they were doing. They were so unorganized. It was ridiculous. I don't remember what number I got. I think it was like number 10 in line or something like that. Niall was announced to come, which was why I was doing the all-nighter, because I'm like, oh, well, I've been waiting 6 years to meet him and I'm not going to give up now. I also found out what hotel he was staying at. Go there to check it out or anything because I had to stay in line. I was scrolling through Twitter. I don't remember what time it was because it was last June. I seen a picture, actually I think it was a video, of Niall just roaming the streets of Toronto at night when I was there sitting in line. That kind of stressed me out because I'm like, okay, he's currently roaming the streets as I'm stuck in this line right now. I don't think I would want a video with him anyways, or a photo with him anyways, because it was nighttime, so the lighting would be crap and it probably wouldn't turn out that well. So it's probably good that I didn't meet him at night. They didn't hand out the numbers until around 8 a.m. Once you get your numbers, you can leave the line. My friend and I left the line and decided to walk around his hotel, which was, I think it was like a 20-minute walk or something like that. But it was quite the distance away. So we did that and we just walked around the streets and all of that. We chilled at the parks nearby and we were just basically trying to kill time until the red carpet because we had to be back. The security told us we had to be back by 12 and I'm like, we're not going in the place until like 4, and it was really hot that day and it was also raining for part of it. It was just downpouring in rain and we had to take shelter. And luckily, this girl in line she let us borrow one of her umbrellas because she had a spare one. So we at least had that with us. But it was just downpouring in rain. We weren't really looking for him anymore because we're like, he's already probably out walking because every time he comes to Toronto, he always gets seen outside because there's certain fans in the area that meet him all the time. Every time he comes. So he's always pictured outside around 8 in the morning. We're like, well, he's probably already out and about, so we're just gonna walk the streets and just kill time until we had to go back. We got back in line. They put us into this box and we had to stay there until they let us into the red carpet. And once you get into the red carpet area, where you're at the barriers and all of that, you can't get out of it, so once you're in there until it's over. And they let us in at about 4. It doesn't start until 8, I'm pretty sure. It's like 8 to 9. So yeah, we're stuck in there for a few hours. Once we're in there, obviously it started raining a little. We just stood there because they also didn't let us sit down. So yeah, it was a long wait. I don't remember who else was there. Oh, Imagine Dragons was also there. Mariana's Trench. I can't remember who else was there. One of the girls from Pretty Little Liars was there also. I was mainly there for Niall because I wasn't really a big fan of all of them, and plus they didn't stop for fans anyways. The show finally, well, the red carpet finally started. They put us, we were there since the day before at around, I would say 9 p.m. and then throughout the night, and then throughout the day until we're lined up there. And they placed us in the most crappiest spot ever where no celebrities go at all. I was kind of disappointed in that because we were there for it was over 14 hours at least that I was there for. And they put us in this spot where we wouldn't even be meeting anyone, which is kind of sucky because the people in front of us, they put them in the spot where they would literally meet everybody who walked by, because that's the spot where all the celebrities usually go to take pictures and sign and all of that. The only person we want to meet is Niall. So maybe if he comes in our area, we would get a chance to meet him. But seeing that every time there was a celebrity walking and arriving and all of that, they would stop at like the corner, and then our area is kind of dipped in a square type shape. And they would stop at the corner and then walk toward the interview section. I honestly got used to it because I'm like, okay, well, I don't think we're going to meet anyone because no one's coming in our area. I was paying attention to Imagine Dragons because they just arrived and the host of the red carpet was talking to them and all that. And then my friend kind of like tugged on me, and then she just flat out said, Niall is here. Because there's this screen at the red carpet where you can see the vans arriving and all of that. And I just happened to look up because I couldn't see him, so it wasn't really sinking in that he arrived. But I looked up at the screen and Niall got out of the van and he was talking to the host. It didn't sink in because I'm still looking at him through a screen and it's not like he's right there. When he was done talking to the interviewer and all of that, he went over and he started taking pictures with fans and he started coming up the line. We're like, is he gonna come over here? Because nobody has been coming over here. He stopped at the corner and then he went and he started turning to leave, but then he turned back around and took a step into the dip, which is when I started internally just dying. None of the celebrities have taken the step into where we were, and he was the first one who took the step and took a picture with someone and then started slowly continuing down where we were. He got to the person. I had my iPod out because I don't remember, I think my phone was dying, so I used my iPod instead. Yeah, so he got to the person beside me and then he went to turn away and my heart literally stopped. But then he turned to me and I kind of just handed him my iPod and said hi and all of that. And he smiled, and I'll post the pictures somewhere in this general area. And yeah, so he smiled, he grabbed my iPod and took the picture. And then he handed it back and he smiled. And my friend also took 2 pictures of when I was handing him my iPod, so I'll probably post them here too because his face kills me. Oh my god. That was my story on meeting Niall. He also performed later that night and he performed Slow Hands in This Town. The next one I'm going to tell is Norman Reedus. Now, I met him at Fan Expo. I bought a photo op with him and I went down with my grandfather and we got there, I don't remember what time it was, I think it was around 10 or 11, and he was already out signing autographs. From the time I got there until even when I left, he was signing. So he was signing all day until he had his panel, if he had one. I don't remember if he had one or not. And when he was doing his photo ops, he obviously had to stop signing to go do that. But other than photo ops, he was signing all day. And his signings, he signs really slow because he takes the time to talk and to meet each individual person. So his line was moving really slow, and at the last minute I decided to go and buy an autograph. So I got in line and I was in line for probably an hour or 2. And it was getting close to his photo op time, so I was hoping that I would get the autograph before the photo op time because I had his photo op and I kind of had to run for that too. It did happen before the photo op. I picked the picture that I wanted signed because they have stacks of random pictures of him for you to choose from. So I picked one. I handed him the money. When I got to Norman, I don't remember the exact words he said because it was a year ago. It was last September. But yeah, he basically brought me in for a hug right away. He said, hey, he introduced me to his manager. We talked for a few minutes. He asked me where I was from and just small talk like that. And while he was signing, he held my hand, which I was dying inside because I'm like, oh my god, he's holding my hand. He signed the picture very slowly too. He took the time with everything. After that, we said bye and I left. And then we kind of just walked around and we looked at the stalls and the booths and everything because there's a lot of merch there and comic stuff and just everything. I actually found a Negan bat, but it was like $30-$50, somewhere around there, and I didn't have the money because I bought the Norman autograph instead. But I'm hoping that if it's there this year when I go, because I'm going in about 3 to 4 weeks, I'll probably vlog because I'm going with one of my best friends. I'm hoping if it's there, I might buy it, but I'm also going to a supernatural convention next year, and that is really expensive, so I'm trying to save all my money for that. I went to line up for his photo op when it came time. When I got up to him, he took a break just before I got to go up to him, so we had to wait for a little. When I walked up to him, I asked him, and since it's kind of loud in the room, I had to like talk in his ear. But the pose I asked for was if we could just hug. So he said, yeah, sure. So we did the hugging pose, and I'll post it somewhere here. That was the last time I was meeting him that day. So after that, we probably left a few minutes after that. He's one of the nicest celebrities I've met, besides everyone I've met. That's the thing. Everyone I've met has been nice, but he was just taking his time with everyone. He's one of my favorite actors. So that's my story on meeting Norman. The last one I'm going to tell for this video is Jacksepticeye, who is a gamer on YouTube. His name is actually Sean McLaughlin. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I always have trouble saying his last name. I was waiting for him to come to Toronto for so long. Like, he tweeted me about it because I tweeted him asking him like, oh, you should come to Toronto. And he tweeted me, but it wasn't like a definite answer that he was coming or not. And then literally 3 months later, I'm pretty sure it was, he announced a tour and Toronto was the first one on the list. I bought a ticket. It's the 6th row. He announced an earlier show and I'm like, well, that one will be more convenient because I don't want to be downtown until like 11 p.m. at night by myself. So I bought a ticket to the earlier show, and for that one you could pick your seat. So I got an aisle seat and it was front center to the stage. It was like $113, but it was worth it. The other ticket I sold for, my ticket was actually the cheapest. Everyone else was selling it for like $500. I'm like, it's not $500 for the ticket. The ticket is literally $113 and they're trying to sell it for like $500. So I sold mine for $60 and someone bought it. And then I bought a ticket for my friend to come with me. So she came. I had a VIP ticket, which I didn't know my ticket was a VIP one until 2 days before the show when I got an email from Ticketmaster being like, oh, you have a Q&A. And I also got assigned a poster, which I also didn't know about. They told me to arrive at 1:30, so I arrived at 20. I think it was actually close to 1:30 when I arrived, which was surprising because I'm never on time for things. I went in the VIP line and we got a wristband. We didn't go in until 2. And then when he got on stage, he was on stage for an hour. I'm like, Q&As are never an hour long. See, 5 Seconds of Summer, their Q&A was like 20, 30 minutes. It was fun. It was funny. He's so genuine and down to earth. I don't really watch gamers, but he's one of the only gamers that I watch besides Markiplier and Felix. After the Q&A, I had to meet up with my friend to give her her ticket because I still had her ticket. After that, I showed her to her seat and we watched the show. And then one of my Twitter friends told me a tip to meet him after the show. So I told my friend that, and we were gonna attempt that, which was his tour bus was parked right outside of the venue. So I'm like, we can just chill like on the grass part because there's like this curve that you can just sit on. I don't know how to explain it, but like we sat down on this part and it was close to the tour bus so we could still see the doors and all of that while we were standing there. We kind of just walked around. We went to this dessert place we went to a bookstore and then we went to Starbucks and then we decided around 8 to head back to the venue and see if he's going to come out to meet anyone because he usually does, but we weren't sure about it because every time someone comes to Toronto, they don't stop. Like, they would stop the city, like, before our date, but once they come to Toronto, it's like they disappear and they don't meet anyone. It's happened a lot of times when I went to see people. But, yeah, so my friend had to leave at about, I think she left around 9:40. It was close to 10. She had to leave because she had work the next day early. So as soon as she left, that's when everyone started coming out. So I was like, you're leaving literally as he's probably going to come out in a few minutes. I was waiting. I had to save my phone battery because it was getting close to dying. It was around, I would say 10:40, somewhere around there. After the concert, everyone literally just crowded around the tour bus. Like, it was insane how many people were just crowding around the tour bus. But yeah, so he walked through the front door. He had his luggage with him and he had a security guard, I think. And his girlfriend, Signy, was there. So he kind of just like ducked his head and he hugged one fan and just made his way straight to the tour bus. And as soon as he got on, within 5 minutes, everybody left. And it was just me and some other people there. It was less than, I would say, 15. There's probably just over 10 people there, like still there because the tour bus hasn't left yet. So I wasn't gonna leave until the tour bus was on and like driving away because he could still come out. I was waiting and I actually ended up, because I was on Twitter and whatever, and I just jokingly like tweeted him like, oh, you should come out and like meet some of us. And then it was within like 5-10 minutes or maybe even 3 minutes. I need to like double check on that. I think it was 3 minutes. He came out around, because I was on my phone, so I wasn't really paying attention to the door. So I heard the door open and I just happened to look up and he was standing literally right in front of me. I kind of just shut my phone off. Like, didn't shut it off completely, just blanked the screen. And he kind of just stood there and was like, hey guys, and had his hands in his pockets. And he's like, oh, I can't stay out here for too long. In the meantime, he stayed out for an hour, just chilling and hanging around everyone. And he kind of just went around in a circle and talked with everyone individually, took pictures, hugged people. It was actually it was great. And yeah, when he got to me, I asked him for a hug. So like we hugged and it was actually like a long hug. I wasn't expecting it to be that long. And then after that, I took a picture with him and he looked down at my shirt and I was wearing a Supernatural shirt. So he's like, oh, I love your shirt. And then he like laughed a little and was like, the Winchesters, which killed me because I'm a fan of Supernatural and Jack is like one of my favorite people ever. So two of them combined, I died. And then I asked him for the video for my friend. So he made the video for my friend. I don't know if I'm going to put it anywhere in this video or not. But yeah, so he did that. And then I talked to him for a few more seconds, and then he went around. When he went around with everyone, they asked if you want another picture, because there was better lighting like over where he was now. So they're like, oh, if you want another picture before he leaves, then say whatever you want to him, get another picture, autograph, whatever you want before he gets in the bus and leaves. So I got another picture with him. I got to talk to him some more, and then he got on the bus and he said bye to everyone. And he left, and that's when my mood just started going down. I was so happy I got her that video. That was my experience meeting Jack. He's such a genuine person. Like, he actually took the time to talk to everybody who was there. He stayed out. He didn't have to. And he stayed out for just over an hour talking to everyone and just taking pictures, autographs. He wrote out a tattoo for someone. That's it for today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Drawing Jensen Ackles using Skittles soaked in water to make it watercolor, and this is how it turned out. I'll probably post a picture somewhere on the screen.